So as we roll into next week, my fellow agents, I want to address a question a lot of you have sent the channel recently, and that is, what is my favorite build to use in the game, or what is really my favorite variation of a build? Because I have two versions that I love to run with all the time. And with that being said, as we start this video off, I want to mention the fact that this is nothing new. We're talking 4-piece striker, 1 Fenris, and either Coyote's Mask or the Catharsis. And I say that because I never want to waste your time, so if you know the builds I'm about to go over, feel free to click off the video right now. But for everyone that has asked, this is a build, or this is two variations of a build that I use pretty much every damn day in this game, regardless of what I may be doing. We're talking countdown, solo, group, mission, control points, a bunch of different stuff. So I do want to give you a breakdown really quick. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out. And if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, starting with the specialization, you can see I'm using Gunner. The main reason for that is because I like to use the Banshee Pulse when I'm running with this version of the build. Now, always remember, you can use another specialization if you choose, but always make sure to have the proper weapons activated in that weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. Now, my go-to weapon when it comes to the game right now is St. Elmo's Engine. In my opinion, it is definitely the best assault rifle in the game, and that is because of its talent, where shooting an enemy with this weapon will give you 1 stack, and at 100 stacks, the next magazine will be 100% filled with shock ammo. And you look at the mods, you got 15% crit hit damage, 30 extra rounds, 10% weapon handling, and 15% crit hit chance as well. That is what, in my opinion, separates this weapon from other ones out there. Now, if you don't have it, in the meantime, you can use the Chameleon. You do have a few other options, and thankfully, this is in the general loot pool. I recommend hitting up Countdown or the Summit. Set your targeted loot accordingly. Now, moving on to the gear itself, you can see we're running 4 Striker, 1 Fenris, and the Catharsis Mask, which you can see on screen right now. Now, I know for a lot of players, this thing is a bit of a unicorn. You're having a hard time getting it to drop for you, but I promise it is definitely worth a grind because of its talent vicious cycle. Taking damage builds stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack grants 1.5% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stacks triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud, which restores 5% of max armor to all allies in the cloud. Next, we have the body armor. It's the 1 piece of Fenris that is going to give us an extra 10% assault rifle damage bonus, and you can see I am using the talent Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 20 times. And one thing you'll notice is on every single piece of gear, I'm stacking crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Now moving on to the holster, the knee pads, the gloves, and the backpack. They are the 4 pieces of the Striker gear set. We're running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, 4 pieces Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. But because we are wearing the Striker backpack, we do gain access to the talent Risk Management, which is going to increase the amount of weapon damage gained per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.65% to 0.90%. As far as my skills are concerned, I'm running with one of my favorite combinations in the game, that is the Banshee Pulse and the Assault Drone. However, feel free to use anything else you want. Totally up to you, my friends. When we look at the numbers, you can see I'm sitting at 49% crit hit chance. Remember, the max is 60. And 119.4 crit hit damage. And always remember, those numbers are going to be dependent on not only the gear you have equipped, but having a Shade Watch of level 1000. Now at this point, as you can see on screen, what I've done is I've switched my mask to Coyote's Mask. This is the other version of the build that I like. This happens to be one of those must-have exotics in the game because of its talent pack instincts. And with that talent, you and all your allies are going to gain a crit hit chance and or crit hit damage bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. And if you're using this thing in a group, you can have all 3 of those bonuses running at the same time. It is absolutely lights out. Now, one thing you hear me mention in any build video I put together is to remember this is just a template. You want to take your time, make a build your own. When we compare the 2 builds, this one's sitting at 1.1 million armor, not 1.5. I've also switched from the Assault Drone to the Crusader Shield. And as we take a look at the numbers, you can see him sitting at 49% crit hit chance, 143.4 crit hit damage. Those numbers are going to be dependent on not only the gear you have equipped, but having a Shade Watch of level 1000. Hope this helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Good morning once again, my fellow agents. I hope everyone is having a good day. As you're watching this video, I am currently camping with the family and totally unplugged, loving life. Wanted to pre-record something really quick, so I hope you do enjoy it. Do me a favor, let me know in the comments section, what is your go-to build? You know, for me over the years, there've been a handful that are just staples, right? One of which was Scorpio Hunter's Fury back in the day, and then they nerfed the Scorpio, so that kind of killed that weapon for me. But right now, this is my go-to build without a doubt. And when I say I use this every day, this is just the one I have locked and loaded all the time. This is pretty much it, because you can do so much with this build, and as I said multiple times in the video, so many different variations to run with it. You know, I showed a version with the Catharsis at 1.5 mil, the Coyote's Mask, which is what you're seeing now with 1.1 million. And you can find something right in the middle too. So take your time, make a build your own. One thing I failed to mention in the video is that my secondary weapon is either the Rock and Roll Shotgun or the ACS-12. That's going to help build those striker stacks much faster. So I do want to mention that really quick. I also want to once again thank you for all of the well wishes. I've had some health issues recently. I'm doing okay, I'll be fine, just the recovery time is taking much longer than expected. I will try to answer your comments if I can. If I can't, I won't. You know what I mean? But anyway, your support is amazing. I thank you all so much for everything. That's all I got for this one, my friends. Thank you once again, and I will see you in the next one.
All clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter. Trusons have turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. I don't know what you're walking into. Head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.